everyone, how are you doing on this fine day? If you're new here, hi, my name is Noah and I am the Bookworm, and we do things with books and game books. Today we're actually doing something that I've been wanting to do for a while, which is the Hammer of the Sun Book 1 of the Vulcan Verse. This huge chunky thing. So this video is pretty much just looking at the beginning and creating a character, so nothing crazy and in-depth. That's going to be for the next video, so let's just dive straight in on this. So, Hammer of the Sun by Dave Morris. Sorry about the reflections because of the lights and stuff in this place. The best thing about this that I like is that we have a map, and this is Desert of Notice. It's quite a few little landmarks, but this is just book 1. This is pretty much an open world. We basically travel and go everywhere in all the other books, backwards and forwards, and depending on where we go from there numerous times, they get to, everything changes, and the people that you meet, and so on and so forth. Just very quickly, so these are the solo adventure playing books. So the thing is, this is advertised, Hammer of the Sun is advertised as a second book in a lot of places, but it's actually the first. The second book is House of the Dead. So we've got House of the Dead, Hammer of the Sun, The Wild Woods, The Pillars of the Sky, Workshop of the Gods. So it pretty much says, these game books are set in the world of the Vulcan Verse, a massively multiplayer online and computer game, a collectible digital card game. You can see and interact with many of the places, creatures, and things in these books by playing online at VulcanVerse.com. So I didn't know any of that. I just know that this is pretty much like Fabled Lands, which I absolutely love. Though sometimes I get stuck in it. This is pretty much like, here's a newer version in a way. The beginning of it. The camera doesn't seem to want to like focus in on this, but you know, it is what it is. So I'll just move this aside and I'll read it to you. In the desert's fiery heart, secrets and wonders await you that even the gods have forgotten. Brooding sphinxes, whose centuries of stony sleep only the most resourceful hero dare disturb. The skeletal Spartoi consumed with cold hate, waging perpetual war against all living things. Proud Amazonians, who may make you their monarch or their sworn foe, and seers and demigods who will guide you through the hidden reaches of this fabled realm at a price. Defy the ravages of time to restore the ancient city of Iskandaria to its former grandeur. Hunt monsters among the stars, uncover the mysteries of sand-covered ruins, range out into the wilderness to face primordial dangers and strange creatures out of deepest dream. Venture into lost tombs and haunted temples to uncover the truth about what threatens the Vulcanverse, a danger from the dawn of time that now stirs and plots in the darkness. As you explore, you will forge friendships, meet companions, make enemies, all of whom have long memories and will help or hinder you throughout your adventures. In this vast open world, you will find hundreds of amazing quests, make choices with lasting consequences, win glory, cheat death, and face challenges at every turn. Every decision is in your hands. Start in any book, be whoever you choose, go anywhere you please, and do anything you want. The only limit is your imagination. And that itself is pretty much why I love these type of books. It's pretty much like the Skyrim of books, and that's okay. So just for the beginning bit, the camera obviously isn't focusing. It's only focusing on the character that I've drawn out here, so we can do this together. The old myths are dying. We gods fade from the world as mankind turns to their machines, their magic-killing science, their virtual worlds filled with new gods and monsters. They do not need us anymore, and we are forgotten. The old myths are dying. We sleep, we dream, we fade into eternity. But I, Vulcan, the god they once entreated to gift them their machines, their science, their god-forged weapons, will not go quietly. I will embrace their new myths, their invisible worlds, their daemons who speak in code of webs and nets and chains. I will forge a world that will be greater than the mundane ambitions of mere mortals. I will use their science to create a virtual world born of a god, a world beyond the fickle, ethereal dreams of mankind. I, Vulcan, will create an Olympus. So, our adventure starts here. Vulcan Verse is an open world solo role playing game. You can play the books in any order, coming back to earlier books whenever you travel to the region they cover. Instead of a single storyline, there are virtually unlimited adventures. To play, all you need is 2 dice, an eraser, and a pencil. You only need 1 book to start, but by collecting other books in the series, you can explore more of the Vulcan Verse. If you have already adventured using other books in the series, you will know your entry point into this book. Turn to that section now. If this is your first Vulcan Verse book, read the rest of the rules before starting at section 1. You will keep the same adventuring persona throughout the books, starting out as a novice but gradually gaining in power, wealth, and experience through the series. So we have the adventure sheet. We pretty much drew it out already because I thought it'd be easy for us to write on it and be able to keep track of everything, because apparently I like paper more than a lot of things. And obviously, like Fabled Lands, we have code words that we take when we get, and they can help us or hinder us in the adventure. So we have attributes. We have 4 attributes, which are typically range from -1 to +2 as you're starting out. You will discover your attribute scores as you play. So we have charm, which is our understanding of people and their motives. We have grace, how agile, supple, and quick we are. Ingenuity, which is cunning and reasoning, and your ability to think on your feet, which will probably be really low for us because that's normally the kind of person I play and am, to be honest. And then we have strength, which is our physical might and endurance. So the magical possible score in an attribute is +5. If you're already at maximum, you are told to add to your score. It has no effect. But there are augmented items, I guess attributes that you can get. Certain items that can boost your attributes while you have them on, which is you can get charms. Gives us a list of the charms here, which is like for which one you can as an example. So we get something for charm. They give us like +1 and +2s. Grace, same sort of thing. Ingenuity, we've got like Hornbook, the Abacus, we've got Strength, which is a hardwood club and an iron spear. And it kind of goes on about that, but it does explain that if you have multiple of these items, you can't use them all at once. It's pretty much like one or the other. So you can have the items, but when you're going to roll for them, you can't just be like, oh, I've got this and this and this and this. Everything's plus blah 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 blah. It's it kind of explains that you can't use them all at once. Like if you have 2 items like the Gold Lyre and the Laurel Wealth for charm, which is a +2 and a +1, you can only use one. You can't use all of them to get a +3. So our attributes rolls are made to see if you succeed the task. These are rolls of 2 dice with difficulty that you must equal. So basically, let's say we have a strength of 2 and it wants us to make a strength roll. We would roll 2 dice. We'll get 3 + 2 from our strength, and that would be a 10. So we would pass. We always want to get either the number or above the number to succeed. So that's how everything works in this. So you can get wounds in this, which we have popped here, and if that ever gets ticked, you get a -1 to all your attributes until that gets taken out, basically. You can get scars, but we start with no scars. You can get them from injuries or returning from the afterlife. Scars are a mixed blessing. Many people will shun you because of them, but others will admire or fear you more. So having scars does affect how people approach you in this game, which is really good to do. Obviously, we get possessions, we get money. Glory always starts at 0. You will grow as you perform deeds that increase your renown, which is very good. Obviously, we get the code words, which I just explained, which can either help or hinder us. We can get titles, basically the record of our achievements, and blessings that we can get from gods and goddesses that can help us throughout the game. But let's start this off then with creating a character. In your waking moments, you rarely think of your early life. The world is harsh, drawing a stark line between the quick and the dead. And so there is little time for idle reverie. But when you sleep and your soul becomes unpinned from your body, time is a river that can flow both ways. Sometimes you see yourself then as an infant, standing on the hard-packed floor of your home as various uncles and aunts come with gifts for your birthday. There is a man whose face is twisted by a scar that runs across his right eye, a sightless, milky orb. He holds out a hand from which an old sword cut sheared several fingers. Your uncle, Nicomachus. No, little one, come to me, calls your Aunt Turpe from across the room, singing a little song that makes you laugh in delight. Your uncle Sophus has a gift for you. See those pictures of distant lands, he says, holding up a book whose coloured pictures blaze as if with inner light. When you are a little older, you will read the words that describe these lands and travel there in your imagination. In the doorway waits your Aunt Ermia. She never joins the throng at the hearth, always has one foot outside. Imagination's a fine thing, better still to travel there in person. It is through this moment has happened already. The four wait, and then you can go to one of them, but which? I'm obviously going to go for the scary uncle who has a sword, so I'm going to go quickly to 59. Your uncle scoops you up and draws his sword, which he holds up to the window. You are spellbound by the play of yellow fire across its dark brown surface. You see those chips in the blade? Says your uncle in a tone that is half a laugh, half a snarl. Each a foe who'll never trouble me again. He holds you up to the family as you run your fingers over the bronze sword. See, a little one is a true follower of the Abundant One, the leader of armies, the blood-stained bane of mortals. On your adventure seat, mark Ares as your god, and then move on. So, this is where it gets to be good. So we're starting to build our character. So let me just do this here. We have Ares. So mark Ares as your god, and then go to 256. Time is fleeting and fluid in dreams. The scene changes. You are older. Not yet an adult, but grown big enough to disdain the company of little children. So perhaps it irks you when, arriving at a stream shaded by willows near a pool that is a favourite spot of yours, you find a gaggle of younger children giggling and splashing about noisily in the water. What do? So we can either drive them off, trick them into leaving, show them a better stop, or join them. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive them. No. See, I don't want them here. I can either trick them into leaving or drive them off. I'm going to trick them into leaving, so I'm going to go to 102. Walking a little way upstream, you find a big branch and use it to stir up the river mud under a clump of leaves. Bubbles of trapped gas rise and break greasily on the surface. You stroll back to find the children holding their noses in disgust. "What's that stink?" cries one. "Oh, there's the carcass of a dead rat just a little way upriver," you say. "Ew!" They're out of the water and running home as if the Furies were after them. Job done. Write in your attributes. So we've got strength 0, grace 0, charm 0, and ingenuity is a +1. Turn to 1,650. This is a big book. When I say that, there's a lot of segments. Now you have this part of the river all to yourself. The water rolls past. The sunlight hangs in honey droplets amid the leaves. It is a perfect day. The perfect day of your early life. There is one cloud in the otherwise clear sky. Why? Why didn't you want the children to stay? You can be honest with yourself, especially in a dream. So we can either say, I don't want them to see I can't swim. They're just annoying, that's enough reason. Or I came to catch some fish and they were scaring them away. I think that the fishing one sounds more like me. So I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to go to 5, 6, 7. That makes sense. You spend a few hours fishing and bring home a good catch for supper. You can still smell that fish frying in the pan with garlic and herbs. Still taste the succulent flesh on your mother's wheat cakes with a squeeze of lemon. Of course, in a dream, every meal is perfect. Now go to 1696. There is no fire in the hearth, only ash. Outside in the cold blue of a winter's evening, the house feels as if something vital has gone out of it. Years have passed. You are fully grown. Beside you, your mother is no longer the robust force of nature you remember, but a thin little old lady. 2 coins, she says, holding them up. It's all we have to buy supper. It's only now you become aware of your brothers and sisters, all younger than you, huddled in silence at the back of the room. Give them to me, mother, and I'll fetch us something. But then, how will he pay the ferryman? And it's with dread that you follow her eyes to the table, where the sheeted body of your father lies. Those 2 coins placed on his eyes will give his spirit the means to cross the river into the afterlife. Or should they go as an offering to the gods? Who must look on us kindly if we are to survive, wonders your mother. She sounds so lost and bewildered that, as you dream this, you must surely stir and sob in your slumber. We can either keep them for ourselves, take them to the shrine, put them on the corpse's eyes, or buy food. I'm gonna buy food because we have siblings, we need to look after them. So it's just the logical reason to do. Screw religion and everything else. So go to 1558. You take the coins. The gods help those who help themselves, and the dead are beyond our help. I'll go to the market so that we don't go hungry tonight. Add +1 to your strength score. So we're doing well. This is going well. So then go to 1242. The dream breaks and flies apart like smoke in a strong wind. All that you have seen is in your past, or perhaps exists only in the imagination that fuels your memories of the past. You have now filled in your adventure sheet, the details of your god, your attribute scores, and perhaps one or two other things besides. What woke you? So we can either say what woke us is the jolting of a cart, the lapping of waves, a clamour of voices, or restlessness. But I think we'll leave it there. We've made our character, that's the main thing. And then next video we will be going on with this. So let's just fill in the zeros that we were supposed to add. And that is our adventure sheet. So we are called Gus Williams. Our god is Aries. Our charm is 0. Our grace is 0. We've got +1 ingenuity and +1 strength. We don't have anything else. We've got no money, no titles, blessings, possessions, or anything. There we go. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put that we are in our location is 1, 2, 4, 2. So we start from there. That's what I like about this as well, is that our current location is 1, 2, 4, 2. We know where to go. So that's the start. That's our character creation so far. Very easy, very simple, and was fantastic and beautiful. But let me know what you think of the book so far. It seems very much like an Egypt sort of thing, which, can't go wrong with that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Let us know what you think of it so far. Much love, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Cheers.